Hello everyone, welcome back to Writing 3. In this lesson, we are going to look at Unit 7 in the Mindset series. If you take a look at this picture here, you'll know that our topic today will be dealing with the information presented in a pie chart. This is an example of a pie chart. Can you take a look at exercise number 1 in here? What is the pie chart about? It represents the main weight of finding out the news by adults in the UK in 2015, right? So we have the color coding here, the blue one, the darker shade of blue, the yellow one, the black one, and the orange one. So in total, we have 5 ways of finding out the news, right? They give you 5 types here: TV, radio, print, online, and not specified. Can you identify which type here? Let's give it a try before we check together. Can you guess? Please confirm your guesses by doing exercise number 3 in here. Can you match the description with the sections of the pie charts in here? Alright, so for number 1, just over a third of people access the news online. So you can see the number here, just over a third. A third would be roughly around 33.33%. So just over a third, probably be around like 35, 34%. So I think that you should match it with number 3, right? For B, we have the largest proportion of people, about 40%. Remember, the largest proportion will about 40% watch the news on TV. So it's, of course, should be number 1, the blue here. For number 3, only a tiny minority, that means a very, very small number, did not specify how they find out about the news, did not specify. So it is number 2, the orange one, the smallest one here, right? For number 3, radio is the least popular way to get the news at just 7%. 7%. So you can get it is number 5, right? The darker shade of blues in here. And for E, approximately 15% of people read the news in print. So print here, you can understand it as like print newspaper or print magazines, huh? So it should be number 4, right? The yellow color left. Do you have the same answer as you predicted before? If yes, then you are very smart. Do you notice that when you receive the data like the percentage or the proportion or the fraction, normally it will be presented in the form of the pie chart? Yes, right? So in order to describe the pie chart well, what you need to practice is to describe the percentage and fraction. I think that it's easy for you to say the number, right? Like 20%, 70%, 92%. However, it is a good idea to try to switch to a different way instead of just saying the numbers all the time. So exercise number 4 is designed in order to help you with that. Can you please match the percentages here with the descriptions in here? Have you got the answer? Yes, right? So for 20% here, we say that it is a fifth, right? If you notice, 20% is very beautiful number, right? So it should be a fifth. A fifth is 20%. Notice that if you have like maybe 21% or 22% in your presented data, then you can say just over a fifth, right? It works just as fine. For number 2 here, we have 77%, so it should be about 3/4. Pay attention here. For the fractions, you can say 3/4, 3 and then quarters with s. Quarters here is similar as 15%. Sorry, 25%, right? A fourth, yes. So 3/4. It is not 3/4, but it is about 3/4. So remember that. 3/4, the exact 3/4 will be 75%. So maybe if you have like slightly more or less than that, you can say about. It is a safe way for you to do it. For number 3, 92%. 92%, then you can say approximately 9 out of 10. So it's like for the number 90, right? 90%. So you can say approximately 9 out of 10. For 31% here, you can say just less than a third. Just less than a third. So a third will be equal to how much, do you know? If you don't, can you try to find out? I already told you the answer previously. Alright, so for number 5, 24% here. What do you think? Yes, it should be almost a quarter. So what is the number for a quarter? Easy, right? 25%. And for 48% here, I think that you can certainly do it yourself. It is a little under half. So you can imagine, right? Half is 50%. So if you have 48%, you can say a little under, or slightly under. Okay? So I hope that you will try to use some of these fractions instead of just simply saying or listing in the numbers all the time. In the previous exercise, you've already practiced matching the fractions with the percentage. Now, for this exercise, number 5, they are going to give you the fractions and your job is to write the percentages. I will give you some minutes to take a look and then we'll check the answer together. Alright, so for number 1, 4/5, what do you think? 4/5 will be 80%. For number 2, 2/3. 2/3 will be 66 or like maybe around 67%. Number 3, a tenth. A tenth will be 10%. 2/5, 2/5, it should be 40%. And a quarter, we use this quite a lot, right? It should be 25%. So it is quite easy to apply this one into describe the pie chart. So for this one here, we're going to practice the other way to describe percentage by using the fractions and put it in the sentence, everyone. However, as I told you before, with some more verb, like the adverb, you can add it before or after it to describe the rough number. So you can use like almost is like about, right? Almost about, or approximately, or roughly. These words are quite similar. You can use it interchangeably. And then if you have more than it, you can say over, or maybe like slightly over, or just over to indicate like the it is more than, but just a little bit more. Or you can say it under. You can say under, or slightly under, or just under, or you can say a little. Alright, so here you can see the blue one is never with 38%. The orange one is hardly ever with 18%, and the black one 26%. sometimes, right? And 18%, the yellow one, is often. So this pie chart shows the frequency with which adults in the US find out the news through social media. You are going to use one of the fractions, and then try to use some of the words in the box right here, and then describe the percentages here. For instance, I can say almost 2/3 of adults in the US never read news on social media, right? So like 38%, you can say it is two fifths, huh? Almost, like it's not like exactly 2/5, but like nearly. So you can say almost 2/5, huh? Of the noun phrase of adults where in the US, and then you add the verb, right? Never read news on social media. Can you do the same for other categories? I will give you some minutes to take a look. Are you ready? Let's take a look at the answer together. So, the next category, you can say just under a fifth often access news on social media, right? Often, the yellow one. So 18%, you can say just under a fifth. Then you can say about, or approximately, or roughly a quarter of people sometimes get their news from social media, right? So sometimes here is 26%. So you can say like about. So a quarter is like 25%. So about or approximately or roughly is alright. Beside that, maybe you can say like just over is okay as well. Alright, so the next category, a little under a fifth. A little under a fifth hardly ever access news on social media. So 18% is like just under a fifth, right? So just under 20%.